Dr. Stephen Thomas, an infectious diseases physician-scientist and the principal investigator for the Pfizer-BioNTech Covid vaccine trial occurring at SUNY Upstate Medical University, discusses what the next steps are for Pfizer and Moderna's vaccines. It seems the world breathed a collective sigh of relief when Pfizer, BioNTech and Moderna recently reported the first efficacy analyses of their COVID-19 vaccines. Based on the results of more than 90 COVID-19 cases occurring in each trial, vaccine efficacy for the candidate vaccines was more than 90% and there were no serious concerns about safety. The results exceeded many vaccine developers' and scientists' expectations, who are used to seasonal influenza vaccines with effectiveness calculations between 35 to 50%. It was also comforting that two large, independently run, Phase 3 trials testing similar vaccine platforms yielded comparable data, though the full datasets have yet to be released. Though releasing these interim data was only the first step on the road to having widely available vaccines, it needed to be a good one. And it was. Over the next few months, one key thing we'll have to look at is the effectiveness of these vaccines versus their efficacy. Efficacy is a measure of a vaccine's ability to reduce the risk of disease in a vaccinated person compared to someone who is not vaccinated. The term applies to data generated in the context of highly controlled environments, like a clinical trial. That's the data we have now. Vaccine effectiveness is the measure of how the vaccine performs in the real world, when those controlled variables are now subject to life's practical circumstances. That's the data to come. What can we expect to learn about the effectiveness of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines? First, it's important to note that efficacy does not always translate into effectiveness if the designs of clinical trials are so restrictive that the results can't be generalized to the real world of diverse locations and populations. The good news here is that both companies seem to have taken this into account. The Pfizer trial is enrolling volunteers in 39 U.S. states and including people from 12 to 85 years of age, across diverse backgrounds, and with many volunteers having pre-existing medical problems. Moderna enrolled an equally diverse population, 18 years and older, across 31 states. These trial conditions offer the potential that vaccine efficacy will translate into actual clinical benefit when millions of doses are deployed and administered. Of course, learning how effective these vaccines are will require both companies to clear certain regulatory hurdles. Both companies have communicated they will file data packages with the US FDA requesting an Emergency Use Authorization (EUA) for their respective vaccines sometime before the end of the year.